David, obviously a big game this weekend for you. Can you tell us a bit more about the fan appreciation night?
Yeah, so obviously wear white on the night is the theme, and it'd be good to see Patterson Stadium in white. We obviously have purple haze around earlier in the year, and that's always a great game to play in, and hopefully we can have a similar kind of atmosphere at the ground. And yeah, record number of members this year for the club's obviously a great result, and we've got a loyal fan base, and when they turn out at Subiaco and really cheer us on, it makes playing there really enjoyable.
Yeah, people have spoken before about the atmosphere at Subi when Freo are playing. I think we got a bit of press towards the end of last year. How much does it sort of spur on the players when the place is going off? Yeah,
it's obviously a great place to play football full stop, but when it's full of screaming, crazy Fremantle fans, it's a great joy to play in, and we've been playing well there in the last couple of years, so yeah, really building that kind of fortress-like atmosphere, and opposition teams talk about it in the media and behind closed doors, I'm sure, all the time about trying to silence the crowd early and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, definitely the boys enjoy playing at home and playing well for the fans.
Has there been a feature of or a goal of the group, I suppose, trying to get a good home record? I think you've only lost one of your last 16 at Patterson's.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been a specific goal, but we understand that this is where we come from, and we train here and play here all the time and in these conditions, and so to try and dominate teams in these conditions is, personally a focus. So, yeah, it's good to play.
Do you think it's an advantage of interstate clubs having that sort of loyal following, I suppose, at the big ground, and the other team has to make the trip? It always makes it a bit more daunting.
I assume so. Yeah, I know when we travel to Melbourne, it's focus and trying to get on top of the crowd and use the crowd's energy when we go over in Melbourne and stuff like that. But all I can say is playing at Patterson Stadium in front of 44,000 Fremantle loyal fans is great.
I know you're in any time team, but would you look forward to as many home finals as you can get? Absolutely.
The less we have to travel throughout the year, the better. Collingwood play 18 games at the MCG, and that'd be lovely if we could play 18 at Patterson Stadium. But no, absolutely, the goal is to play as many games at home as we can.
David, if you had a chance to reflect on the top four finish that you've achieved, something pretty big this season?
Yeah, it's obviously a good result. I wouldn't say I've really reflected on it as yet. We've still got a lot of business to get through, but we've worked hard to get to where we're at, and we're going to hopefully make the most of it.
Tell us about Port Adelaide and what you're expecting this weekend.
Yeah, fierce contest, a really improved side from last year. I was looking at some of the clips from our games against them last year, and markedly different team this year. So we've seen that they're never out of the contest. They keep fighting back, and young team hungry for a good contest. So we're going to have to be on our guard for 120 minutes and not have the lapses like we saw last week.
The second half's particularly been extremely strong. How do you make sure that you're on for those full 120 minutes against a side that's strong in the back end?
Yeah, we just got to keep focused and really tuned in and concentrating on the game. 120 minutes, like I said, and focusing on how we want to play. We discussed the second quarter a lot this week already, and what happened and why that happened, and so there's going to be a high emphasis on each player to continually spark everyone else, make sure we're not drifting.
They've got a very talented midfield, a very different style midfield to yours. How are you looking to match up there?
I'm not too sure yet at the moment. They've obviously got a lot of dangerous players in there. Travis Boak, on top of that list, and he's played really well last week. So, he's going to be, him and a number of others are going to be really dangerous, and we have to be on top of our game.
Looking at your team makeup, obviously top two is in the balance. Do you sort of go full approach for the next fortnight, or do you sort of maybe likes of yourself or Barlow have that carrot dangled in front of you and the chance of a week off and a rest?
No, I definitely don't want a week off. I like being involved with the team each week and want to keep the role that we're on at the moment going. And I think Ross has publicly stated that guys won't just be tapped out for the hell of it. If you've got a niggle or something that's not quite right, you might get the time. But personally, I'm up and about and I want to keep going.
Does the concern at all raised about Aaron Sandland's obviously missed a lot of footy with injury, his impact going into finals, obviously now out for another week or potentially two now?
Yep.
So has that been raised? Is he going to come back in there and straight back into the lineup, or do you think with Clark going the way he is, he'll just command that number one position at the moment?
Yeah, well, I think Zach, Aaron started forward on the weekend. Zach was in the ruck, and so Zach's obviously stood up this year and he's continually improving and playing his role. So we've got no qualms. If Aaron doesn't come up at all, we've got no issue with Zach taking the number one ruck mantle into the finals.
Dave, your spread of goal kickers over the last few weeks must be really encouraging. Was it something that's discussed amongst the midfield specifically, or just amongst the whole playing group that you wanted to get some more goal kickers?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was specifically discussed, but it's obviously a pleasing result. Get more goal kickers and take the reliance off Ballantyne and Walters and Main, who've kicked a lot of goals for us this year, is obviously a good thing, and hopefully we can continue it moving forward.
And you seem to have that versatility. I mean, Barlow started in the goal square at times, you've pushed behind the ball. It seems like you're really sort of versatile amongst that midfield group.
Yeah, we're hoping to grow and learn a number of different roles as we move forward. Myself, Mickey Barlow, Nat Fyfe and Stephen Hill both spent a number of minutes in different roles on the weekend, and hopefully that just improves the team moving forward.
You've been mentioned in all Australian circles. Do you think you're having a better year than 2011? How would you assess 2013 personally?
2011 was only a half year, so I was going okay up until I got hurt.
Sorry, 2010.
Yeah. 2010 was an okay year, but no, I'm surprised with those discussions. I don't think I'm up playing that well, to be honest. 6 weeks ago, I could hardly get a kick in a street fight, so just trying to play my role and bring the effort that's required.
David Ross said last night that Hayden Ballantyne's more than likely to be named and to play, so he must be pretty happy with how his shoulder's going.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to be out for 3 years the way he reacted, but Bally's up and about and joking amongst the boys, and I'm not entirely sure medically how he's at, but he's up and about and he seems pretty confident.
This is, you guys now having secured top four, this has been the most successful 2 years in the club's history. How much is the group enjoying their footy at the moment?
Yeah, obviously winning creates a great culture, and boys are quite excited after games generally, especially after big wins like the last couple of weeks. But we understand this has come off the back of some really hard work, and nothing's been gifted to us or given to us. So we've earned this right, and we're going to have to continue to earn it and not take the foot off the pedal.
Is it a group of, probably this has been in the works maybe 3 or 4 years, is that group, is there any discussion about sort of turning around the culture of the club, the reputation of the club?
No, not amongst the players, not any discussions that I was involved in. I'm not sure about the big dogs upstairs here, but no, definitely we're just trying to, new coach a couple of years ago and trying to knuckle down and get to work, and we understand what it takes obviously, and so it's going to have to continue.